Hello there, and welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm your host, Sam Squalia, and you're watching this, as you must know, from FATV, Fitchburg Access Television, shot in the Workers Credit Union studios, right here at FATV. Thanks for joining. This week's show, we've got a big show for you talking about what's happening in the new year, 2023. And we have up front, we have Fitchburg Acupuncture. And we're going to talk about a smoking cessation program, acupuncture and hypnosis, and ways to better yourself coming in the new year. Then we also have Riverfront Ripples, the program down at Riverfront Park in Fitchburg, and we're going to talk about the plans for Riverfront Park coming up in 2023 and beyond. And then finally we have Lunenburg Skate Park. We are talking about the plans for the fundraising and the plans for completing the fundraising and what's going to happen with the Lunenburg Skate Park coming up in 2023. So up now, I have Allison Blaisdell from Fitchburg Acupuncture. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
All right. So Fitchburg Acupuncture, last time we had you on, what was it, like a year ago?
It was about a year ago.
About a year ago. So how is Fitchburg Acupuncture?
So it's been a great first year in business here in Fitchburg for Fitchburg Acupuncture, and we're getting ready to dive into our second year here in the fabulous Burg. And we're getting ready to roll out some new programs for the new year designed to kind of hit people's New Year's resolutions. And
quit smoking, lose
quit
weight.
smoking, lose weight.
Be more active.
Be more active, learn some new skills, all of those different things to just really hit the body, the mind, all of those things. And one of those, at Fitchburg Acupuncture, we offer much more than just acupuncture. We also offer herbal medicine, Reiki, hypnosis. And so one of the things that we'll be offering is a group smoking cessation program, offering what I call hypnopuncture.
Hypnopuncture.
Hypnopuncture. It's a combination of hypnosis and acupuncture in a group setting. And so the reason that we're offering this way is that in my 20 years as an acupuncturist, I've had so many people call me for smoking cessation for acupuncture. It's pretty well known that acupuncture can be very helpful for smoking cessation. But I almost stopped taking those patients a long time ago because what I noticed was that people sort of wanted it to be magic, and they didn't really want to put in much effort. And I'd see the people coming up to the clinic for their first appointment, and they'd
smoking their last cigarette?
Right on the hand would be on the door handle, and they'd throw the end of the butt and come on in, and then just as they were on their way out the door, they'd be fishing in the purse or the pocket. And so hypnosis really kind of addresses the psychological behavioral issues where acupuncture really addresses the physical. It's a 1-2 punch, really,
so
for
how
people.
Does acupuncture address the physical cravings for nicotine?
So there's a very well-known protocol. It's called the NADA, N-A-D-A, and it stands for National Acupuncture Detoxification Association protocol for any kind of cravings, substance use issues, and it's points in the outer ear. It's been used since the mid-'70s, and it started, they developed it at the Lincoln Detox Center in, I think, New York City, Brooklyn, Bronx. I'm sorry if any New Yorkers are watching. I don't have all of my boroughs down. But they started using it there at the Lincoln Center for people who are struggling with heroin addiction, and found it to be very, very successful, and it's been very well documented and studied for many years, and it's also been used for smoking cessation. It helps to calm those different centers in the brain and in the body that correspond with cravings. It helps calm the nervous system. And so we use those points in these sessions along with hypnosis, which goes in and works with the subconscious mind for behavioral modification. It works with limiting beliefs, negative thought patterns, all of those different kind of psychological issues that are the underpinnings of why somebody might be addicted to certain substances or have behaviors that they might want to change and struggle to conquer breaking those habits.
And this is a group hypnosis and group acupuncture.
So it's offered in a group setting for a couple of reasons. One, because the group experience becomes very powerful, right? How many different therapeutic interventions are offered in a group setting where you meet every week, whether it's in person or online, where you have that group format of support, where you can share experience. Hey, how'd you do this week? Oh, I did great. Or, oh, I struggled with this. Oh, me too. Let me show you or tell you about what I did when I struggled with that same thing. It becomes a method of support.
And just knowing other people are going through the same thing that you are.
Correct.
Just really helps, I think.
It really helps.
We know.
The other reason that it's offered in a group format is because it helps make it more accessible in terms of cost, really.
Oh, right.
So
you're not paying for 100% of your attention.
To be a private session, which certainly I offer this in a private format, it's a higher fee for service. And with acupuncture and also with hypnosis, you know, people might be familiar with the mad Russian who is famous for smoking cessation, right? All of his sessions are done in a group format. And there's a long tradition also of community acupuncture where things are done in a group setting to bring costs down, to make it accessible for folks. And so in this setting, really, it'll be a 6-week program for people that really it will be the cost of otherwise 2 private sessions of hypnopuncture.
So we have this smoking cessation program from Fitchburg Acupuncture that we're talking about. And this 6-week session is starting in the new year, January 2023.
That's
What
correct.
are the details of when it starts and how many times a week we meet?
So it starts on January 7th. And details can be found at fitchburgacupuncture.com. It'll be Saturday mornings at 10:30. And so everyone will come in. And I've only got space for 8 people. So if people are interested, it's already filling up. I would highly recommend jumping on, booking, you know, your session. Not everyone will be accepted into the program. There will be an initial intake because I have to make sure that people are fully committed to it, that people are appropriate for the program. You know, it's not because I don't want to work with everybody, it's because I want to make sure that people are going to be successful and that it's right for them. I don't want to just take everybody's money and say, oh, well, see you later.
Right, like you might be better in a private, you know, one-on-one.
Or, you know, maybe we work on something else and then we work on this, because it's not always time for change, right? If somebody's just had something major going on in their life, maybe it's not time to quit smoking, right? You have to be ready to make a big change like that. So we have 8 spots, January 7th at 10:30 on Saturday mornings. There will be an initial intake to make sure that everybody is appropriate for it. There will be a little kit that everyone gets of some little things to support them in between sessions. So
like gum?
Kind of like that. Kind of like that. So I'm also an herbalist for 30 years, so there'll be some little herbal remedies that people can use if they so choose. It's not a mandatory thing, and once again, that's part of the intake, is making sure that people aren't on medications that might interact with anything or have any allergies to anything. And so that will be part of the program, and it'll be really a great thing for people.
Yeah, and so what is the cost for the smoking cessation group program?
It'll be $450 for that 6-week program.
And after 6 weeks, have you done the smoking cessation program before? Like, what is the success rate for combining hypnosis with acupuncture for, eliminating the need to smoke?
I don't have a clinical statistics success rate, but I can tell you that all of my people have been very happy. And anybody who, I'm always willing to work with people who, I've never had anybody get to the end of a program and just be tremendously unhappy with anything. If anybody looks like they need a little extra support, we work with them because I stand behind the work that I do, and that's part of why we do the initial intake first. Right.
We want to help the people.
We want to help the people. We don't just take the people's money and say, well, it's because you didn't do it right. Correct?
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
We want to do things ethically. We want to see people succeed and get better and achieve their goals.
Now, what about the hypnosis part? I've heard some people talk about, I don't want to be hypnotized.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. So there's all kinds of wonderful myths and misconceptions about hypnosis. Some people are absolutely terrified of me when I tell them that I do hypnosis, or they want to scoff at it and say, well, I can't be hypnotized. I'm not weak-willed, I'm too strong-minded for it, and you can't make me bark like a dog. To which I say, if I could control people's minds and make them do whatever I wanted and something that they did not want to do you really think that I would be facing another brutal New England winter here in Fitchburg? Do you really think I would be here?
I would choose it.
I would probably be hypnotizing people into robbing a bank and bringing me the money. And I would be flying you down to my Caribbean hypnosis clinic on my private jet.
You think of Naked Gun when they hypnotize the people to
to
kill the Queen of England, right?
Well, that's not how it works. The truth of the matter is all hypnosis is truly self-hypnosis. I can't do anything to anybody that they don't want to be done. That's part of the intake process, is evaluating, you're here to achieve a goal. Do you really want that goal? So anybody who's watching this right now, ladies, if you're thinking about signing your husband up for the smoking cessation program, please don't. He has to sign himself up for it himself, because it's not going to work if somebody really just loves smoking and you give somebody this as a gift for, the Christmas or something like that. If they don't want to quit smoking, no amount of acupuncture and hypnosis in the world is going to cause somebody to quit.
Right, all they'll do is they'll come to appease, and then they'll sneak
exactly.
the cigarettes
I can hold up my gold watch all day, and I can swing it in front of your eyeballs till the cows come home. And if somebody does not want that, it's just not going to be a thing. So, I'm not going to be making anybody bark like a dog or cluck like a chicken or do anything that, they don't want to do.
So, Allison, in addition to the smoking cessation, I know that we've discussed how you do like weight loss programs, and maybe is there hypnosis and acupuncture for a weight loss program? Because that's probably one of the top of the New Year's resolution lists, right?
So we also have a weight loss program that is launching in January. And this is a virtual program, so people can join from anywhere in the world. And this is there's no acupuncture involved, obviously, because I can't do that virtually. So this is a hypnosis-based program. This is a 5-week program. And this includes a nutritional component to it. It's called Hypnotic Metabolic, and this is also on the site. And so we ran this program earlier this year in June. We had a group of 10 people from all across the country who had tremendous results. People ranged in age from 23 to 70 years old.
Wow.
People had amounts of weight that they wanted to release from 8 pounds all the way to well over 100 pounds. And once again, There's an intake process where we have to make sure that a person is appropriate for the program, because there's a kit of nutritional supplements that goes out to the person. There's a little program that we follow. It's not anything crazy. I really dislike the nutritional programs that's, meal replacements and weird supplements that send you running to the bathroom.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Or, very calorie restricted diets. This is something that teaches you how to eat properly, and it just eliminates really inflammatory foods.
Inflammatory foods?
Yeah, things that would really cause a response in the body that causes,
Like highly processed.
Highly processed.
Sugar.
A lot of people are reactive to grains and nightshades and things like that. So this is it's almost like a Whole30 kind of program. And of course, we can modify for people who may have special needs like gluten-free, vegan, things like that. Once again, it's a group program, so we all meet online once a week. And for this, we have a little Facebook support group to meet in during the week. So if anybody has questions or wants to share or needs support, we can do that.
And that's longer than 6 weeks?
It's 5 weeks, actually.
Oh,
it's 5 weeks. Because the nutrition program is 4 weeks. It's I think it's technically 28 days. So we do a week of prep first, and then we do the 4-week program, and then, we kind of do a reintegration a little bit, but there's not a 6th session there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And you can find out more information at FitchburgAcupuncture.com.
Correct.
And all the smoking cessation program, the weight loss program, and other general offerings by Fitchburg
General
Acupuncture.
offerings
And what's your address here in Fitchburg?
I'm at 21 Cully Street in Fitchburg, right behind the famous Slattery's. So after you get your acupuncture, your hypnosis, you can stop over for zucchini sticks if you're trying to quit smoking, or a healthy salad with no dressing if you're trying to lose weight.
Or a reasonable amount of dressing.
There you go.
And what is your phone number for those that don't like to go to the website?
617-792-2913. And I should mention to everybody as well that if you're just looking for acupuncture for general health complaints, we do accept many forms of insurance, including Mass Health, which is wonderful. This is the first year that Mass Health is really covering acupuncture and paying acupuncturists for it. So I would invite everyone to really investigate.
And a lot of insurances will accept or will cover acupuncture?
So, coverage is increasing every
and probably
day.
the smoking cessation program, do they cover that as well?
The smoking cessation program is not covered by insurance, just because it's a different form of it. It's just a different program. It's a whole different ball game. But everyday acupuncture, back pain, neck pain, migraines. I feel like I could make a song out of that. Come on down, check your insurance coverage, and we'll take good care of you.
And so we offer hypnosis, acupuncture. What are the other?
We also offer Reiki. We have some Reiki certification classes coming up in January as well. We have a Reiki master on staff. So lots of good things coming.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. We covered the smoking cessation program, the weight loss program, hypnosis, acupuncture in general, Reiki. Did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything.
All right. Well, thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Sam.
Thanks for coming on and teaching us more about Fitchburg Acupuncture and the opportunity to quit smoking, which I know a few people that I would like to sign up for the program, but I won't. But I won't do it. I'll make them do it themselves. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching. We are going to take a quick break, and then we'll be on with Laura from Riverfront Ripples, and we're going to talk about Riverfront Park in Fitchburg.
Excellent opening move. We played this
opening lines for the Bishop and the
many,
Queen.
many times. 10-year-old Alice Lee. Let's see a photo of Alice Lee.
So she plays H3,
Okay.
and we were thinking that mainly it's to make Luft, they call it,
Luft.
German for air.
At the age of 8, he was also able to play blindfold, but most of his exhibitions were where he had sight of the board. And he usually played between 15 and 20 players. Yes, I think taking with the queen. How did Carissa respond to bishop c4?
She plays knight f6, attacking Jennifer's pawn.
Parents built a house in North Leominster, but my father always worked at Fitchburg Savings Bank, so our life was really Fitchburg.
You see all ages, you see the kids there, parents bringing their kids, teaching them what it's all about.
He's a board member, he has real power, so
I was lucky enough.
This guy.
Stay there.
Beard's gotten longer.
the best beard in Fitchburg.
Yeah. In doing the research for the building was old street maps of the city, talking over 100 years old.
Welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I am talking with Laura DiCaronimo about Riverfront Ripples, which is a new organization that aims to improve Riverfront Park right here in Fitchburg. Is that correct?
It sure is. The big thing that Riverfront Ripples is wanting to do is basically bring awareness of Riverfront Park, because not everybody knows what a cute little gem we have. We want to advocate too for the community to get more involved. A lot of what we're doing, a lot of our big push is a survey actually to have people kind of let us know what programming they want in the park. There's been a lot of big changes, there's been a lot of big improvements, there's a whole stage project that's going to be coming in next year. We want to just really make sure that the people in Fitchburg, and especially in like the neighboring communities, have their say in what happens.
Yeah, so Fitchburg Riverfront Park opened, what was it, 20 years ago?
Yeah, there had
in
been
2002.
something like that. Yeah, something like that. Actually, in preparation to be here today, I was reading an article from 2006 that had talked about it opening a couple years prior and saying, gosh, it's underutilized. And that was 15 years ago. So I think we could do a little better and make a little bit more use of that space.
Yes, so the Riverfront Park used to be, is that the one, is that the site of the old Hope Rubber Factory?
Exactly
that
right.
burned down.
Exactly right, yeah, and that ground is not great.
Yeah, there was a lot of, chemical issues with the ground, so it was a brownfield project.
It was.
And under Lisa Wong, we renovated the whole park into our Riverfront Park.
And it's only honestly half of the environmental success of that park. The Nashua River watershed, Marion Stoddard, it's a huge environmental success that we have in our backyard. You know, I grew up in Fitchburg, I'm 34 years old. It wasn't really until the beginning of this year that I realized how dire the Nashua River had been and how beautiful it is now. Well, you hear rumors about how gross it was, and then you see a video of it and you're like, oh my gosh, but I was so lucky to come from a point of privilege of it had always just been a cute little park. And again, now seeing how gorgeous it is and now seeing that there's going to be a whole new stage coming in, you know, it doesn't stink. People should enjoy.
Riverfront Park, Nashua River is absolutely beautiful today.
Oh yeah.
People comment on how beautiful the river is, and you can see it very clearly from Riverfront Park, from the rocks and whatnot.
Exactly.
However, you know, from the street, it's not so easy to see into Riverfront Park sometimes.
It's truly not. It's truly not. And that's a huge thing that we're facing in terms of trying to get people on board in the city and get people on board private property owners to help us kind of make that area more beautiful. I've been really, really lucky in my work with the Ripples to have a really good group of people around us that want to do that work. So really it's just a matter of getting the permission and getting the necessary, you know, easements or whatever it would need to be to, yeah, get a little bit more curb appeal. If you're driving over the bridge, you can look down, it looks good.
Cut down the brush.
Yeah.
From the parking lot, so we can see very clearly into the whole park.
You know, we all just went through a pandemic. We all had our pandemic haircuts. Now let's get that park a little pandemic haircut.
Let's get the
Definitely.
The saws.
Definitely. And I mean, there's that beautiful mural on the other side of Marion Stoddard. There's the mural on the other side. I mean, there's so much art going on in downtown Fitchburg. I envision Riverfront Park as a place where you can go, sit with your coffee, gather with your friends, say, okay, we have our map that we got from the Fitchburg Historical Society of all the different murals. Let's go for a walk.
Yeah, I know that John Allen had a part in the Marion Stoddard mural, and I think Jerry Beck and also Sophie Tuttle were all
those are
involved
things I've seen.
in that mural, and that was one of the first big murals that we have in the city of Fitchburg is on the back of the Zeta's Pizza building. What beautiful view coming down Blossom and right from Riverfront Park.
Exactly.
But there are a lot of overgrowth trees that have grown up over the past, 10 years that it's been since we painted that mural.
Totally. And it's weird to me because, I go to different events and I'm talking to people about what would they want to have happen, what kind of events would they want to see go on in Fitchburg, and everybody kind of has the same ideas. Well, we want to get together, we want to have some music, we want to have whatever. And I go, well, where do you want this to happen? Well, if we just had a park. And I truly think you're right. I truly think they drive by it and don't see it.
It's true.
It's wild.
Yeah. The Fitchburg Farmers Market was held there one year, but the problem was people didn't know where Riverfront Park was. Still.
Definitely. And like I said, the group is really trying to change that. We're really trying to just get more people aware of it in general. We do have a really active Facebook group. It's called the Riverfront Ripples. Please join, please share. Obviously, feel free to as well. I think you might already be a member. But basically, we want to let people know about what is going on there. I agree. There's been some events there that don't get publicized as well because it isn't the upper common. It isn't going to shine out to
driving by
people.
going, hey, what's that?
Exactly. And when I think about the events that we've had there, I mean, just this year we had the River City Rhythm and Rock Fest. That was our first time doing that.
That was awesome.
That was so awesome. Don't even get me started. The amount of local talent, the amount of local skill, the amount of just community and people coming together. I was in a lot of those planning meetings, and the people of the city really care. The people of the city want to have good things going on.
Yeah. We have a lot of opportunity here in Fitchburg. A lot of opportunity.
Seriously, it's such fertile ground right now. It seems silly not to do more with it. I mean,
speaking of opportunity, we have 200,000 plus 25,000 plus 50,000, a whole bunch of different funding sources for a stage at Riverfront Park.
Exactly right. Yeah, we just had our community meeting in September about that. We were really lucky to get a grant from our public services. They've been extremely generous and just, again, extremely supportive of the community as a whole. They really wanted to get out and meet us and see what our plans are for it. There's beautiful designs. Again, they're on our website as well for what the stage is going to look like.
What, on New View Communities website?
On New View Communities and on the Riverfront Ripples, actually.
Oh, there's a Riverfront Ripples website.
Well, it's on the Facebook page, you're right.
Oh.
Might be. But yeah, basically, we just wanted to kind of let them know that we're super duper grateful. And yeah, we've had a ton of other funding sources. I believe Representative Kushmerek was able to get us a big check as well.
The city of Fitchburg is 50 grand,
yep.
200,000, so 275 grand.
Not bad.
Not bad for a stage.
For sure.
So it'll include like a changing area, a handicap accessible stage.
Exactly
and,
right.
And all the environmental design and issues that come along with dealing with brownfield sites. Because it's very expensive.
Yeah,
it's very expensive. Yeah, and it's right by, and it's within the floodplain. It's right next to the river. There's a host of environmental concerns when you're talking about building something so close to the river.
Hugely. And yeah, fortunately there's been a ton of teams that have kind of been working on that to make it all come together in a way that makes sense, is respectful to the park, is respectful to what people want. And again, the Ripples group is, with our survey, we're just trying to know what kind of acts people want to see on that stage. It's one thing to have the stage, and it's another thing to have a stage that sits there. Our big thing is we just don't want a stage that sits there. We want people to know, hey, my cousin's band, he plays harmonica. I think I want to get him a gig somewhere. Get in touch with the Parks Department. We have a beautiful place.
It's true. So, Dan, could we throw up, that picture. Can we take that picture and put it up on the main screen so everyone can see what we're talking about? We're talking about Riverfront Park, and maybe just scroll through a couple pictures of the big screen. So Riverfront Park, as you can see, we have the beautiful Nashua River, and it's right in the downtown. This is an image. Is this from the bridge?
It is. Yeah, me and my mom took this picture
from the beautiful wooden footbridge.
Exactly right.
And this is a nice picture with the green grass.
Yeah, a lot of beautiful days at that park. A lot of beautiful days.
Yeah, but you can see that the park needs some maintenance. Along the left side there's a whole bunch of overgrowth. You can see the overgrowth right here in the foreground.
That knotweed. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, we need a lot of attention.
There's a lot of invasives that we're going to need funding to knock down.
Totally.
And some volunteer work.
Funding in hands.
And Dan, also, can you put up the
Thank you.
QR code. So this is the QR code that Laura's talking about. If you could just leave this up for a few seconds so people leave this up for a few seconds. So if you've got a smartphone, You can just take a picture of that QR code right there, and it'll take you right to the website that has the
survey.
The survey of what you'd like to see at Riverfront Park. So, because community input is very important to the Riverfront Ripples.
And it's a bilingual survey because 53% of our city speaks Spanish, so we want to make sure that it's accessible to them. So obviously I can't say that in Spanish because I am monolingual, but yeah, it's accessible. We want to make sure that we can get as much input as possible.
All right,
thank you.
Sounds good. Okay, so Riverfront Park, upcoming kind of project for 2023. What should we expect to see? I know right now we've taken our architectural designs from Lorden Architects on Main Street in Fitchburg, and we've handed those off to a larger architectural firm, and they're currently designing our stage project.
Exactly right. I mean, I would hate to speak out of place. I do not work for the architecture, but it is looking as though a spring 2023 is realistic.
For a groundbreaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. Gonna break some ground.
And what should we expect to see for the stage?
It's such a work in progress. It's so new. We had a ton of really positive response from the River City Rhythm and Rock Festival. I envision it just sort of highlighting some of the events that we already have. You know, we had No Woco Pride's event there this year. They had to rent a stage. We have the beer festival with Beers for Good. They could have a polka band. Like, there's no reason why it couldn't just be used to enhance the current programming.
Oh, absolutely.
And yeah, and then in terms of other stuff, like I said, there's really no upcoming events yet, but we want to get them. So again, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, if you're a comedian, if you're just somebody who wants to be on a stage in a park and has an idea, like, come at us with these ideas because we want to help make them happen.
Go to the Riverfront Ripples kind of Facebook page there, and you know, we can chat more about what we'd like to see and how it kind of progresses, how the design progresses, because I imagine as they reach a 25%, 50%, 75% design, we'll hear about it, and so we'll have the opportunity to share our, you know, community input on what we want to see it as a stage in our Riverfront Park.
Precisely, yeah, and we're looking for input on things, on the ideas of increased seating, increased benches, other art projects that people might want to see, things on the idea like a little bit more pragmatic, like bathrooms, charging stations for people. Just we want to know what's going to make people come down and enjoy the park with us.
Sounds good.
It does, yeah. Like I said, it's a really great place. You know, we're so lucky with downtown Fitchburg. There's so many great businesses that have, you know, really great meals. I mean, Tiki, don't get me started. And my husband and I have had many a pleasant little lunch break at the park. And you know, it doesn't need to be doing anything, but I started this group with a woman also named Carolyn, and she kind of got me started on the idea of what a third space is. And a third space is basically a place in a community where you can go to hang out and enjoy yourself, where you don't have to engage in commerce and you don't have to work. So it's basically just a pure place of pleasure. So we just want to like remind people that just come enjoy it.
A third place.
A third place. It's not work, it's not business, it's your place.
It's a park. It's the Fitchburg Public Library.
Precisely.
It's a hiking trail.
Yeah, it's Mill Street Extension. It's everything. There's so many little gems in Fitchburg, and like I said, we just want to kind of like raise our hands and say we're on the list too.
Yeah, we really have all the foundations of success of an art and culture and manufacturing community, really.
Oh gosh, definitely. And I mean, like First Thursdays and stuff, we would love to see First Thursdays kind of like span the whole downtown. We would love to just kind of connect so many good events going on at the Upper Common. We just want to kind of bring that to the Lower Common. Get more people involved.
Extend it all down our very long Main Street.
Our very long Main Street.
That makes it challenging when, you know, we try to encompass all of Main Street in an event. It's very difficult.
Oh
we
my
have
goodness.
a very long Main Street.
So true, but I'll tell you, I was at Trunk or Treat on Main Street. I shouldn't call it Trunk or Treat. It's Trick or Treat on Main Street.
Trick or Treat on Main Street.
I always go to say Trunk.
Well, Trunk or Treat was on
yeah.
was at River Styx.
Yeah. But the Trick or Treat on Main Street, it was wild to me because it took up the whole Main Street and it was so crowded.
Oh,
It was wild, and it was to me just more evidence of people want stuff to do downtown. It's very easy for them, you know, just if that crowd wanted to, like I said, go grab a little snickety snack, pop on down to Riverfront, easiest thing in the world, didn't see a person do it. And I'm sure, like we're talking about, so few people knew that they had the option.
Yep, and you know, as you add programming to
Definitely.
the park,
Definitely.
it becomes more of a destination.
Hugely so, hugely so. You know, when I think about what the concerts at the Upper Common have done in terms of me just saying to people at my work, oh, the Upper Common, oh, is that where the bandstand is? Is that where those bands are? Yeah, the more like positive times that people can have at the park, the more they'll be thinking about it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
at Riverfront Park over the summer they did Friday night movies.
Yeah.
So I'd have to drag my daughter out, kicking and screaming with her iPad.
I hear that. I hear that.
Like, we're going to watch a movie.
I do the same thing with my husband, and we got to put the iPad down.
All the parents I think are relate. Yes, but it's really a great space, and it's so close, and there's plenty of parking.
Definitely, plenty of lighting. It's nice and safe.
And having a stage will save a lot of, will increase the opportunity for programming because renting a stage is very expensive. It takes a lot of sponsors just to pay for renting a stage.
Hugely. And if you think about things, like I said, existing events where maybe they thought, gosh, we would love to do that, but we can't. We just want to have people think, gosh, we'd love to do that. Let's do it. The only limit that we should have for events and fun stuff to do in Fitchburg is scheduling. Exactly. The queen of doing everything.
Thank you, Google Calendar.
Amen.
All right. So, did we cover everything? Is there anything else you want to add?
I would just like to say, please join our Facebook group. Please take our survey, and I'll see you guys at the park. Thanks.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you,
thank you,
Sam.
Laura. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure.
And thank you for watching. Let's talk about Riverfront Ripples down. So there's a Facebook page, Riverfront Ripples. And it's a Facebook group. So if you search that on Facebook, you'll see it, and then you can be part of the conversation.
Thank you.
So other than that, we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to be back talking about the Lunenburg Skate Park project. So come back for that.
I remember when. Fitchburg was the smallest town in the area, but by 1835, it had grown to be the largest town. By 1840 and 50, most Fitchburg residents had become abolitionists. Another early industry in Fitchburg that still continues today is scythe making. Women used to have to spin yarn and weave cloth themselves, but now it was being made in factories, cutting down and exporting its wood to build cities up and down the East Coast, and of course, for making paper. Starting in the 1800s, the population becomes much more diverse. Fitchburg Machine Works expanded widely.
After World War II, Main Street was lively.
Hi, welcome back to Discussing Fitchburg Now. I now have with me the Lunenburg Skate Park team. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so how about we start by, we'll just have you guys introduce yourselves down the line.
Okay.
We'll start with you.
Sure. I'm Aiden Moore.
I'm Griffin Cayozzo.
I'm Mason Wickham.
I'm Chris Roy.
I'm Aiden Swift.
All right, and so the Lunenburg Skate Park project, we started fundraising for this, what, 2017? Is that 5 years ago?
Yeah,
Was that when we started the project?
Mm-hmm.
And what was the inspiration behind raising fundraising for Lunenburg Skate Park?
So when we first started thinking about the project, we were in a group project in the 7th grade called Genius Hour, which I believe we talked about the last time we were on the show. Yep. And from that project, every group of students had an hour a week to work on anything that they wanted to, and we kind of took some time to bounce a few ideas around. We had an infomercial website where we made these like wacky products, and we gave up on that because it wasn't going anywhere. We had an idea for a rom-com, which we started to write a script for. That kind of fell through as well because we didn't know how to write a rom-com. And then at the time, we were all sort of new skateboarders, and we quickly realized that there wasn't really a safe spot or a legal spot in town to skateboard. And we took that back to the group project and said, how can we combine these two things and like make the best use of our time? And from there, we sprouted the Lunenburg skate park.
Boom, something not only a school project that's getting you credit, but something that's functional and has persisted for the past 5 years. Congratulations for seeing this through.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I saw that you were at the roller derby. I saw a Lunenburg skate park, and I heard that we were close to our fundraising goal, but not quite there.
Yes, we're just above the $200,000 mark officially after a $10,000 donation from Joe Early.
Ooh, our district attorney?
Yep.
Yes.
Nice.
So we got $20,000 to $30,000 left, and we're gonna start construction on this come this spring.
And so the $230,000 estimate, when was that estimate from? Is that a recent estimate? Because I know everything's so expensive.
I think when we started the project, we've had a lot of different estimates. We started off the project thinking it was only going to be a rail and a ramp, maybe $12,000. But then we kind of realized how much work this was and how much money would need to go into it, into like a real park. So then we were thinking $400,000. But over the years, we've kind of thought about what we would actually want at the park and what designers we wanted. And now we've kind of come to the conclusion that it would be around $230,000
to have a very nice destination park.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're going to do it, you got to do it right.
Yeah.
And where is the park going to be located?
So, sorry, the park is going to be located in Marshall Park in Lunenburg. It originally started out just in a field next to our library, but we've been talking to our Parks Department, and we've come to the conclusion that it's going to be in Marshall Park.
Now, is this something that you had to go to a town meeting to get approval for?
When we first started the skate park project, we would meet after school and in school to practice this presentation over and over again. We probably spent 3 months making, perfecting, and practicing this presentation. And our plan was to go in front of the Board of Selectmen come, I think, February 2018, February or March, somewhere around that time. And it was a terrifying experience for us because we were all little 7th graders, probably a foot shorter than we are now, going in front of this big Board of Selectmen. They're up on the stage, all intimidating. But we gave this presentation, and it was unanimous support from all the selectmen. It was a lot of fun going up there, but we learned a lot of hard lessons. Like, it's very important to be prepared, especially in like local government and situations like that. But it's also important to be able to tell the story and kind of get them involved in your emotion and why you want the skate park and why you think the town really needs it. So after they gave us their unanimous support, we came back about a month later, and they gave us the official grant document to lend us this land for the skate park in Lunenburg.
Yeah, you start to learn the why. It's
Yes.
almost as important as the how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So so speaking of the how, what will the skate park, what are we envisioning that it'll look like? I know we have, the Fitchburg, we have a skate park in Fitchburg. They just opened the new skate park in Leominster. Have you seen those? What will this Lunenburg skate park look like compared to ones that we already know?
So to put it in comparison, Fitchburg's a lot of like vert and bowls, more like ramp style. It's all like up and down, flowy. It's a little bit harder for like street skateboarders as well as new skateboarders to like learn and grow on that. And then Leominster is more, it's kind of got like a good mix of like street and bowls. So we'll probably do something along the lines of like Fitchburg, that way new skateboarders can come in and like learn how to progress and grow over time.
Yeah, we don't have an official design for the skate park yet. We're currently in the process of working with local designers and far designers to solidify a fully designed skate park. within the next few weeks.
So you're looking for designers right now, and you're going to look into getting a design complete, and maybe the group, the team, will work out the details with the designers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we plan on having forums in Lunenburg in the future, just so we can have the community come in and voice their opinions on what they want at the park or what they need at the park. So hopefully we'll get a good turnout at those.
And so how do we find out about when those forums happen? Is there a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook page at 01462 Skate Park, and our website is lunenburgskatepark.org. We'll be posting all about it before the event happens, and then we'll also post the results afterwards to let people know what they can expect.
Nice. And you were saying you're thinking early 2023 we break ground. So how are we going to raise another $30,000 from now to then? What kind of fundraisers have we done, and what kind of fundraisers are we looking at?
So some fundraisers we've done in the past. I think one of our favorite ones is a toll booth. I think it's called a boot drive in Fitchburg.
Sure.
Basically, you just stand in the middle of the town and collect money from passing cars. But we really love this event, and we might even do one in the future because it's a great way to get the community involved. We've always had a ton of kids and adults from Lunenburg come out to try and help out at the event. We also always have ping pong, cornhole, and just like a bunch of food and snacks. So it's been really, really fun.
Where is the ping pong and cornhole? What event?
Oh, it's we hold toll booths just in the center of town.
So you do a toll booth and out to the side, like in the common.
Yeah, it's just like
you've also got cornhole going on.
For all the people that volunteer, we offer free complimentary snacks, drinks, and activities just to make it more enticing.
Yeah.
And then as everyone that drives by learns a little bit about the skate park too, they can kind of ask questions while they're sitting at the light.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we're going to do toll booths. Anything else? Any other plans?
As for I guess after this is released, we have an upcoming fundraiser this Saturday, which would be 2 weeks ago from when this airs. We're doing a bingo tournament, a bingo event at a local coffee shop called Smokehouse Roasters.
Smokestack?
Smokestack.
Yeah.
It's going to be open to kids. It's going to be a toy drive for Christmas. People come in, donate toys, win prizes, just have a fun time overall. And hopefully we'll raise a good amount of money from that.
Yeah, so, because when you get down to, we've already raised $200,000, we only need to raise another 20, 30 to get where we need to be. The donations, I feel like, are going to start coming in a lot quicker than they did when you're like, we don't have any money raised yet, but we've got a dream.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Yeah, we've already seen that a lot at the beginning of our fundraising journey. Oftentimes we would go to these big private corporations or individuals and they'd say, we'd love to donate you money, but not yet. So now that we're getting towards the end and we've passed certain marks, it's been a lot easier to collect those donations from the organizations. They're a lot more willing now that they know that it's a real park.
That's a perfect segue. Dan, we have a few pictures that they shared. Can we share a couple of those pictures on the main screen? I saw one with a big check, or maybe is there a couple big checks? I saw at least one big check. Oh, so here's the group.
This one was at a there's a day called Learn to Skate Day where it's just we held an event where we gave lessons to a number of kids. They could come out and just have fun. We try and teach them some basic skills, and also some more advanced skateboarders came out, so we tried to help them out a little bit. But yeah, it was just like a fun day where the community came out and we tried to teach them a couple tricks on a skateboard.
All right, what's next? Oh, here's a big check from Workers Credit Union. What, $2,500? Is that what I'm reading? That's a pretty good chunk.
That was one of our first big donation.
Yeah.
That was our first successful 7th grade land with our little squeaky voices.
Yeah.
That was a very exciting one, a big milestone.
You're all a foot shorter here?
Yeah.
Look at how young you look. What's going on here?
This is at a trunk or treat, which was held at our town. It was basically for parents and kids to drive through our school parking lot, and we had a bunch of people like our group there, kind of in costumes and decorating to make it fun for the kids to get candy. And we ran an event there we brought out ramps and had a great time.
So you were demonstrating what a skate park might look like.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. This is
cool.
yeah. So
Is this Worcester?
No, this is actually it's a skate park in Boston called the Lynch Family Skate Park. It's actually right under the Zachem Bridge.
Cool.
So I don't know which trip this was. We've gone out there multiple times, but I think this might have just been a day trip where we all went out.
This was the time that we had the interview with NPR.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yes, that was very cool.
So you guys organized. You guys are well organized, and you go to a lot of different activities, and you really show a lot of support from the Lunenburg Skate Park. Everybody's got the Lunenburg Skate Park gear. How has that been? Throughout the years, being able to stay cohesive and just keep moving towards that goal.
It's definitely been a long journey. The COVID hit was, I think the COVID hit kind of helped us realize how dedicated we were towards this project. Because while we were working on it before COVID, things were moving fast, but at the same time we started to get to a point where we realized that it kind of fell into a routine where maybe once or twice a month we would schedule and hold a fundraiser. And I think some of us got kind of bored of it, and it kind of became very routine. And then once COVID came, we sort of after we took maybe a 2-month break when it first hit, and we just kind of thought how much do we really want to get this done? And we put in a lot of time over COVID, and we had to get innovative with the ways we fundraised and met. We had lots of Zoom meetings. We actually took the time to meet over Zoom with a lot of skate park designers. We probably met with one a week for a year straight.
Oh, cool.
And we held virtual fundraisers, virtual 50/50s. We did an online tractor raffle, which raised us over $3,000.
Wow. Did someone donated a tractor?
Yep.
Was it Proctor? No.
Powell?
I think Powell Stone and Gravel.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
There's too many things going on. I understand. So you guys have been crazy busy, and it's, we're nearing the finish line. You're going to be able to skate on your new skate park. Are you going to skate on it one day and be all right, done?
Pretty much. I think it's going to be done right before going off to college. So.
Oh yeah.
We're really doing this for the next generation.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll get a fun summer on it.
Yeah.
And what about additional programming? In Fitchburg, we have the Ryan Joubert skate park, and every year they fundraise for a free skate camp for kids. Do you have any plans for that? Are there any other groups that maybe want to take that charge after you guys have done all of the legwork for this?
We've talked to the Parks and Rec department about the potential of running a sort of a learn to skate camp in the summer, and do either free relatively cheap lessons, and just try to get kids outside and involved, because that's what the project really started from, was just trying to get everyone off their devices, stop playing video games, and just get everyone outside and active. So the goal is just to try and get as many kids involved in the community.
Yes, have them stay healthy.
Yeah, and learn how to fall.
Yeah,
right?
Sure, yeah.
I would imagine that if you're riding on a skate park, a bunch of concrete and steel, learning how to fall is very important.
Yes.
I got a dictionary word for that: aerial awareness.
Aerial awareness.
Knowing where you are in the air at all times is very important.
And then there's a lot of kids who maybe can't afford, the proper headgear, elbow, knee, I don't know what else.
Yeah, that's one of the things commonly misperceived about skateboarding.
Huh?
That's one of the things commonly misperceived about skateboarding. It takes a while to pick up, and it's expensive to buy the skateboard. When you want a really nice one that won't break and fall apart on you.
It's a misconception.
Yeah.
So it's not that expensive.
No. I think you meant that it's very.
That it is.
Oh, it's a misconception that it's inexpensive.
Sure, yeah.
You buy a cheap board and you're all set, but really, you should have a helmet. That's a proper fit, proper designed helmet. You should have nice elbow, knee.
Well, one thing we've
nice
actually
skateboard.
done at a few events, we got I think 50 helmets donated to us by a local organization, and we were very fortunate enough to have the opportunity to literally give a helmet for free to like every kid we saw at like 3 events straight. We were at a Halloween or an Oktoberfest at a local church, and while we were there, every kid that came through, we would just hand them a helmet. It was awesome.
Yeah, I think, I mean, you see all the stars and like professional skateboards out there just jumping down huge stair sets without helmets, but I think we all advocate that you really should be safe in skate parks, and when you're skateboarding, just wear the proper equipment so something horrible doesn't happen.
One slight error and you hit your head on something and you're injured for life.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Just cover up your head.
Yeah.
No, this is the important part. I mean, maybe you break your elbow. I mean, that would really hurt, but this is the brains of the
tuck and
operation.
roll.
Yeah, most definitely.
Aerial awareness.
Aerial awareness.
All right, so in our last minute, what else is there anything else we missed? Anything you want to add? Go to lunenburgskatepark.org to donate, and 01462
Skate park.
Skate Park on Facebook.
Mm-hmm. We also have an Instagram. It's just under Lunenburg Skate Park. Is there an 8? Is it SK8? It's just look up Lunenburg Skate Park and you should find us. We're not too active on that, but that's definitely a way you can find us.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Got to get all the social media.
Yeah.
And then we're also working with the school project right now. We kind of brought it back full circle called STEP. It's a student internship program, which is kind of the reason we're here today. We're looking for like speaking opportunities, just to kind of like talk about our journey and how we got here, trying to inspire younger kids and adults too to get involved with their community. So if you're involved in any sort of like radio, podcast show or anything like that, we'd love to get involved. You can find us at our website, our Facebook. We'd love to hear from you.
Sounds good. All right, thanks guys, and thank you for watching at home. Hope you've learned a lot.